Are you sick of listening to high-quality podcasts? Do you want something more lame and amateur? Then have we got the product for you.
Ever found yourself thinking, I wish these two on the podcast would stumble over more words and mispronounce things? Have you ever wanted more sounds across your recordings? We've got the ultimate offer.
And if you order now, you'll get two for absolutely free. That's right. Absolutely free.
We promise you will never recommend this podcast to any of your friends, family, or goldfish.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to episode 18 of Are You Convinced? How you doing?
That was actually really good. I thought that sounded good.
That well.
Am I ruining the magic again?
No.
No.
We are talking, is it worth the money? We live in a society that is very commercially driven.
Yes. Yeah, very consumerist, I think, is the...
Yeah.
Yeah. God bless capitalism. Buy more stuff so that people can have jobs to buy more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy all of the things.
And then realize years later that it brings you no joy whatsoever having
or minutes later, you literally get home and you just go, did I actually really need that? Because
buyer's remorse.
I kind of needed to eat this week.
Yeah, so we're actually recording at my house this
Yeah.
week. We've shifted from yours to mine, which
Just
means
temporarily.
I'm sitting in the study and I'm looking at a whole bunch of stuff that I could have not bought.
Yeah. I mean,
mostly-
it looks much the same as mine, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little smaller. I think the DVD collection is a little smaller, and there's a few of my girlfriend's stuff thrown in, like Gilmore Girls.
No, that's yours.
I definitely regret buying Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
Who am I kidding? No, I don't. 27 dresses. I don't know what I was thinking.
But
really don't know
like
what's
as
happening.
I was saying to you before we started recording was, I have close to 1,000 DVDs and Blu-rays, and over the course of, since DVDs started to come out when they were like $40 a pop.
Yep.
And now there's Netflix.
I remember those days. And imagine that, incorporate inflation into that.
Yeah.
In today's money, it's probably closer to $50 a DVD. What were we thinking? We thought that was good value.
I mean, probably it was so much easier. I think the appeal was how much easier it was,
Yeah.
DVDs versus VHS. You had to
True.
rewind the thing. And there was the bonus features. That was just...
Bonus features were a big thing. I remember watching I think it was Mystery Men. Remember that one? The
yeah,
superhero one?
vaguely. Yep.
We got that on DVD. And
I'm sorry.
I liked it.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it was good. The big appeal behind that was that it had an alternate ending. Ooh. Which nowadays we just don't even bother watching.
No.
Like, I'm looking at all these DVDs. I think I could name on one hand how many I've actually looked through the extras.
Yeah.
There's
It
not
used to
many.
be a case of I'd watch the movie and then I'd go and find like the deleted scenes,
Yeah.
the gag reel,
Oh, yeah.
or all of that sort of stuff, and
Yeah.
I'd watch through all of that and then I go, cool, awesome.
Yep.
Nowadays it's like the movie's over, I'm just like, there's some extra features.
No, okay.
I'm going to bed.
Do I really want to watch this movie with the director's commentary?
I don't think I've ever sat down and watched a movie all the way through with director's commentary.
There's Black Books, the series.
Yeah.
You remember
Oh,
Black
okay.
Books?
Yeah.
Watch that on the DVD with the commentary, because it's just Dylan Moran, Tamsin Gregg, and Bill Bailey just
Brilliant.
watching them back.
Yeah.
And it's them commentating on how young they all looked and how this joke didn't work and how funny they really are, and it's just hysterical. It puts another layer of comedy on top.
Fair enough.
So that was worth the money.
Yeah.
What are some other things, James, that are worth the money / not worth the money?
Well, I found
If I could put you on the spot really dramatically.
some other things that are not worth the money. Well, I find it interesting, the mobile phone sort of industry at the moment, where we come out with new models. It's usually every year is a big new one between like Samsung and Apple.
Yep.
They have big announcements. You get to learn all the features, and then a week or two it comes out. And everybody's lining up for these things, like lining up days ahead
What's
to
the point?
upgrade. The new iPhone X is over $1,500.
What the hell's the point?
What does it like?
Yeah.
Seriously, what does it do that is better than?
I refuse to believe it does anything that's worth $1,500. Like I refuse to believe the upgrades from the other phone are $1,500 worth of upgrades.
I mean, and I guess you could look at it as that becomes more worthwhile the longer that it's been since you bought a phone.
yes.
But if you bought last year's model,
yeah,
you're not
No.
getting $1,500 worth of upgrade.
you're
by
right.
buying a
If
new
you're
phone.
going from a Nokia 3210 brick to
or
an iPhone
yeah,
X,
even like an iPhone like 3 or 4. If you were
Sure.
going to the iPhone X, then sure.
yeah.
Do the iPhone 3 and 4 still even work anymore?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I've never owned an iPhone.
Yeah, okay.
I don't
but
get
I
the
mean,
appeal.
like in terms of the networks, like I don't even think they'd probably connect anymore.
Wouldn't have a clue.
No.
Didn't they get busted recently for inbuilt design flaws?
Well, they
the phone
tried,
gets
as far as
old,
I
or-
understand it, there was they tried to make it run better by slowing it down.
That doesn't make any sense. That's not how that works.
Yeah, so
Usain Bolt, I thought I would win better by running slower. Bold plan, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
But I guess it would give things, if you're multitasking, it gives things more chance to load rather than too many things trying to load all at once really quickly.
Okay.
So I guess that was the idea, but people were mad.
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
I've paid a lot of money for this phone, and I've just found out that you've systematically made it slower, the life of the phone.
Yeah.
It wasn't something about battery life as well.
Could have been.
But
I do know what you're talking about, but didn't really
every
read too much
single
into
battery, every battery in your life right now is doing one thing.
Yeah.
Going dead. And it's not recharging as much as last time. So batteries suck.
Have you heard about this? Could be an interesting thing that's worth the money. I don't know. Wireless charging, like just Wi-Fi charging, where you could just have. I mean, it sounds freaking dangerous.
It does.
But energy signals, energy pulses going through the air, charging your phone at all times, just when you're walking up the street.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand that well enough. I mean, I do remember Dr. Carl, a well-known Australian pop scientist. He's on Triple J a lot. Every now and then, people will ring up and ask him questions about electropulses.
Yeah.
And he'll go, "Don't believe the quacks." Like, apparently electricians and electromagnetic scientists deliberately buy homes near power lines.
Okay.
Because they're cheaper.
Okay.
Because so many people have it in their head that electricity running through the air is bad for you, and there's been no proof of that categorically. Yep. Having said that, he's a scientist, I'm not. It does freak me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Knowing that there's a thing in my pocket.
And I mean, also, like, is that different to like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi signals? Because we haven't really had that sort of technology for a long time.
As far as I'm concerned,
I wear a Fitbit.
Yeah.
I haven't had I haven't gone and bought an Apple Watch yet because I'm afraid of the transmission like, right from my wrist to my pocket.
Are you worried your Fitbit's going to start reading your text messages?
No, I'm just saying like the transference of Bluetooth or Wi-Fi signals from where my wrist is to my phone and the pocket and where it's going through.
Listeners, right now he's trying to model to me where he keeps his phone in relation to his wrist.
Guess what's in the middle?
He was doing a lot of pointing from one side of his pants to his other.
We've spent way too long on this.
I think we have, yeah. Was it worth the money? I mean, no one's paid for this, so,
no.
This is
unfortunately, guys, seriously, oh my God.
Come on, this is free content. It's worth whatever you're paying for it. Yeah, no, I agree with you in terms of, I've only ever owned Samsungs, Android phones, and I just get them on a plan. I've never paid outright for a phone.
And how soon after the new one comes out have you gone and got one?
I don't.
Do you get the newest model ever?
No, I put it on like a 2-year plan.
Yeah.
It pays for itself after 1 year. I use it for the second year knowing it works fine. And then, I mean, I'm probably not using the phone to its full capacity either.
Yep.
Then when it runs out, I go and get a new phone.
Yeah.
And I just get talked into getting the next good phone. I'm on like a Huawei.
Yeah.
You know the brand?
They came out of like nowhere.
Yeah.
And done reasonably well.
Yeah, it's Chinese. They're doing really well. They make everything. Anyway, I got one of those and it works fine. And everyone's like, the new iPhone. And I'm like, don't see the need. Just don't see the need. What was a purchase that you made recently, James, that gave you immediate buyer's remorse?
Buyer's remorse. I can't remember anything recently.
Well, I hope you can, or else this is going to be really bad podcasting.
Do you want specifically? Because I'm going straight to something that was like 10 years ago now.
Oh, no, go on. No, 10 years ago is fine. Yeah.
So I won't mention any names, but they may still be around, but there was a big photography studio here in Adelaide.
Okay.
They had advertising campaigns. They'd always be pushing to do photo shoots and stuff.
Okay, go on.
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
You get the phone call and they say, oh, one of your friends has nominated you to come in for a free photo shoot.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah, like I could give it a go. Yeah, sure. So you kind of go along with it and went along and they sort of, give you a bit of makeup and they style you a little bit and then they run through and they do the photo shoot and you're like, cool, yep, no worries. So the photos get done and then they call you up and get you to come back in. And that's when the sales pitch starts. So they go, here's the photos we took. And you should buy this and this. And we can give you this one in this size. And we can do this with that one. And they really lay it on thick.
They push it.
I spent a good chunk of money on photos for the photo shoot. And
but you as
happy.
You as an aspiring actor and TV personality. Did you see those as like investments for headshots?
But see, I was never even clear on whether I was legally allowed to use them or get reprints without their permission.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I've not
Not
even
good for
used
headshots
them.
then.
No.
Oh.
No, so I've never really used them. Immediately after, I was like, wish I hadn't done that. That money could have gone to so many other things.
I could have thrown that money at a homeless person.
Yeah.
And
it would have been more effective.
He could have lost half of it and still got more out of it than I did.
Yeah.
Oh no. I bought a car once.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I've bought others, but this one particular time I bought this one particular car.
Is this the Mr. Beaumont?
No. Oh no.
Listeners, he named one of his cars after the boat from Friends,
That's
Joey's
right.
boat, the Mr. Beaumont.
Because when it arrived in the driveway, I actually stood up and shouted at my whole family, "The Mr. Beaumont's here!" and ran out the front, and it was a joke only I found funny. But that was a terrible car. Cost me $500. I split that with my stepdad.
Okay, yeah.
It was a bad deal. It was a bad car. It wasn't
not worth the money.
Wasn't worth the $500 I paid for it, let alone the $1,000 we both ended
together.
up paying for
Yeah.
it. Oh, that thing ran on hopes and dreams and spite, I think. Just bad juju vibes. No, the one I bought after that, the Magna. Magnas are good cars.
Yeah.
I'm not trashing Magna, but this one in particular was just it was a gas guzzling, boat of a thing, and I loved it because it was like my first car I bought on my own and poured a bit of money into it. Took it in for a major service, and my mechanic, who is like a family friend, he's a what do you call him?
Mechanic? Family friend?
Thank you, mechanic. Yeah, just thank you. List all the things I just said. Not helpful. He's a mobile mechanic. He doesn't have a garage. He goes to you with his van, and he keeps.
He's
his overheads
mobile.
low. He's mobile.
And a mechanic. Sorry, I'm doing it again.
You're not helpful. I'm gonna start advertising for a new co-host. So I've taken it up to him. He's done the major service. He actually rings me on my way to work the next day and says, "Mate, how long are you planning on keeping this car?" Why? What's wrong with it? And he says, "Put it this way, what I need to do to it to, keep it roadworthy, you're going to pay for the car again."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. It was a minor thing. It was an engine bracket, an engine mounting, because apparently engines need to be held into the car.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't just float.
No, they don't just hold on their own power.
Yeah.
They've actually got to be mounted, and one of those had broken.
So we should look into that. Why are we not funding this?
Yeah, I know. Well, I said to him, what could happen? And he says, "Well, your engine's going to fall out." I said, "When?" He says, "How long's a piece of string?" I said, "That doesn't sound promising." I then drove it around Adelaide looking for a new car to buy,
okay.
so it got me around.
Yep.
But the car that I bought when I traded that one in is well and truly worth the money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
it's great. Yeah. The cars depreciate the moment you drive them out of the
Pretty
lot.
much.
Yeah. So I've actually heard brand new cars aren't always worth the money.
Oh, I have heard that. Yes. That, pretty much you're losing like a third of the value the second
if you plan on reselling it, which you shouldn't do. But if you just plan on owning a family car that gets free services and logbook and all that sort of stuff, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But in terms of resale value, there's zero in a brand new car.
Yeah.
You're much better off buying a second-hand car, keeping it running, and then trying to flog it off at the same price.
Yep. Yeah.
Couple of grand. Yeah, which is all I've ever done. I've never paid above and beyond for a car.
I mean, I'm sure there are instances with certain specific exotic cars where people would just pay regardless of them. They wouldn't even look at what's on the mileage or anything. They just go, "Yep, I want that car."
Oh, especially because if you're an enthusiast, you know how to keep it running, and you'd probably fix it up and make it a hobby and stuff. Yeah. James, how much time have we got?
Oh, we got plenty of time. What's something you've been really happy with? One of the best purchases you've ever made, or a really good bargain you've got, perhaps?
Okay. So I'm a collector.
Yeah.
I collect sports wear, like sporting Guernseys and shirts and stuff.
Yep.
It's a modest collection by some standards. It's a huge collection by other standards. So most people I know, I've probably got the largest collection of sporting shirts of anyone they've ever met.
Okay.
You go online and it's a minuscule collection. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those sort of things. I probably number in, I reckon maybe in the high 20s to 30s.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Of different teams. My rule is only teams I like.
Yeah.
I won't just buy one because it's new and out or it's got a new sponsor on it or something. I'm not obsessive.
Yeah.
But
I'm not obsessive.
I'm not obsessive. God.
Jeez.
But I could tell you the backstory behind every one of them when it was worn. A couple of them are player issued ones, like ones that player actually wore during the match and signed. Yep. Yeah, so they're worth a bit of money. But one of them I got was an old South Australia State of Origin football jumper.
Yep.
Now, State of Origin doesn't happen in Aussie rules anymore. So this is actually super rare. They don't market them. They don't sell them. Even when State of Origin was on, I don't think you could actually go buy one. So this was worn by a player in a State of Origin game. I can't figure out the player, but a guy was just selling one out of his... This is where it all sounds a bit dodgy. I found him online, and he was just selling a couple because he had a few that his uncle had left him, and he was involved in state footy in South Australia. I paid $100 for it. Now, so far as I can tell, in terms of collecting, this thing's actually priceless.
Wow. Okay.
Because it was worn by a player in a state game, not what do you call it? It's not for sale merch, so I couldn't put a price tag on it.
Wow.
And for me, that's probably probably my biggest collectible item I've ever bought. Probably the one that brings me the most pride.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish there was a bit of humour to that story, and then I lost it. Like I moved house and I put it in the wrong box, and now it's nowhere to be found. No, I know exactly where it is, and it's a very boring story.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
My partner bought this house that we're in.
Yep.
She did very well. Yeah.
Very, very nice. I'm sure she's proud of that one.
She is. Yeah.
That's Nat for you listeners at home that play along. Yeah.
Natalie. Yep. The Natalie. She bought the place, and then I moved into it and tried to ruin it with my decor.
Yeah. Best money you've ever spent.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I know. Yeah. There was a couple of weeks there where it was a bit nerve-wracking about, so like how much of my furniture do you... Okay, let me rephrase that. Do you like any of my furniture?
Because I've spent money on this.
Yeah, was that worth the money? Yeah,
Not
put it
now
this way.
that you're making me throw it all out.
Yeah, no, sell it.
Ah.
Yeah, you go online, go on Facebook, buy swap sell sites. You don't get the full value back, but you'll get some back.
No,
Yeah.
like a second-hand car.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, never buy a second-hand car online. That's probably a bad idea. James, can I tell you about some as seen on TV products that I have here?
Yes. Let's go through a few, I think, because these are always fun, though.
Absolutely. No, they're terrible. They're awful, but I love them.
Oh, but they're hilariously fun.
Yeah. This website I should reference. It's called asseenontv.com.
Brilliant.
I'm going to read from it, so I thought I'd reference it. I'm going to tell you about a product called the Bowl Light.
Okay.
It is not a light in a bowl. Well, it is a light in a bowl, but it's not.
The bowl that I think.
It's a toilet bowl.
Okay.
Do you dread when nature calls in the middle of the night? Don't stumble around in the dark or be blinded by your bathroom light. How bright do they think bathroom lights are? Bowl Light, trademark, is a motion-activated LED light that provides a soothing, colourful glow without disturbing your rest.
Ooh,
Do they assume we
soothing.
sleepwalk into the bathroom? Oh, good. I don't have to wake up to take this pee.
Well, if it's too bright, you might wake up too much,
True, and then not
Yeah.
be able to get back to sleep. Maybe this keeps you in a REM mode.
Exactly.
That sounds dangerous to me. There's an accident waiting to happen there.
Well, ideally, if you're sitting on the toilet, then no.
Then you fall asleep because the light is so soothing.
Can I tell you about the teddy bear?
Oh, no, you mentioned this before and you went, stop. It's not what you think. It's not like that.
But it is called the teddy bear. Tiddy.
Okay.
Bear.
Oh, tiddy.
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 Yeah.
Not E.
No.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So you're a good law-abiding citizen who wants to make sure you're buckled in at all times.
Where's this going?
But gosh darn it, those seatbelts are such a nuisance. Well, have no fear. The teddy bear is here. This adorable little bear snaps right onto your seatbelt and provides comfort, plushiness, extra padding for women who wear low-cut tops.
What? So what is it?
It just sits on
It's an actual teddy bear that sits between a woman's boobs, and then the
it
seatbelt
sits
goes
on the
over
seatbelt.
the top.
Yeah.
That's insane. That is the creation of a mad person.
I think they all are, really.
That's just a reused Beanie Bear. Someone couldn't sell their Beanie Bear collection, so
They
now they're
made a
remarketing
really
them.
bad investment.
Oh my god, that's awful. We used to have those as kids, though. Not bears to sit between the boobs, but those.
Just had a little padding strap thing.
Yeah, those fuzzy padding strap things. Yeah, they used to exist.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, we were both talking about the Cami Secret.
Oh,
Quick and easy clip-on Cami. Cami Secret, the quick and easy clip-on mock camisole. Cami Secret, as seen on TV, allows you to control the amount of cleavage you want to show. Cami Secret, the quick and easy clip-on mock camisole. Cami Secret. That's too long. Too long a title. Trim it down. Gammy secret as seen on TV allows you to control the amount of cleavage you want to show. They just repeated themselves. This isn't even worded well. Well, it's a $5 product.
But basically, it goes over under like clips onto a top that you're wearing that is sort of low cut or what have you.
With a plunging neckline.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Sorry, I don't usually use these terms myself.
No, because you don't cross-dress anywhere near often enough, James.
No, but it covers the cleavage. So the person that invented this has a very, very special place in hell. and the other
Stop
point,
holding back. Tell us what you really think.
The other thing is, seriously, if you need something that covers up your cleavage, wear a different top.
Don't wear something with a plunging neckline. You want all the advantages of a plunging neckline with none of the advantages of a plunging neckline.
Thank you.
But we're not women, so we can't say anything.
Damon, one of the big ones, the big infomercial products that went insane, the Snuggie.
Oh, I love the Snuggie.
Did you ever get a Snuggie?
No. Every now and then a good joke I play with Nat is, what do you want for your birthday or Christmas? It's a Snuggie. I want a Snuggie. I'm not buying you a Snuggie. Well, then you don't really love me.
Wow,
and we're cancelling Christmas.
Why wouldn't she get you a Snuggie?
Because they were awful. I know exactly why.
Like, it's not quite a blanket, yet not quite a coat.
Yeah.
These wearable blankets with sleeves are popularized. That
was English.
That was English by their hilariously ridiculous infomercials, which seem to make people want them all the more.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow, more than 20 million of them have been sold across the US. It's $400 million in sales.
Oh, that's crazy.
The Snuggie guy is rich.
I love it. But the best thing about that infomercial was wear it in sensible places. So you wear it around the house, you wear it on the couch, wear it when you get out of the bath, to your kids' sporting events. And there's just this shot of this cult family of Jedis sitting on this makeshift grandstand watching their kids play soccer, all wearing friggin' Jedi robes up in the stand.
One of the things that's coming, I think they've been around for a little while, but they seem to be popping up even more and more now, are the sleeping bag suits, the onesies.
Yeah. That you zip yourself into and it's got sleeves and stuff.
So it really is just a sleeping bag, but then you can get up and walk around. But wasn't half the fun of camping was when you pulled up the sleeping bag around under your arms and you just sort of bunny hopped everywhere?
I'm a caterpillar. And then you got to wriggle around the room on your belly.
Fell over and Yeah,
your friend did it and broke his nose and
Damon, I was actually having a conversation with somebody the other week about, the infomercial, like how they have, it's always somebody that's struggling to do something really basic and they just completely fail at it. It's like, do you struggle to pour juice and it just goes everywhere, all over the countertop? And you're like,
and she doesn't just drop it, she throws the container and it goes out a breaking window.
So apparently the reason that they advertise it like this is because these products are actually really good for people with disabilities, but they can't advertise them if they advertise it to people with disabilities, other people won't buy them. So they advertise it in such a way that a normal person would want it, but it's supposed to be for people with things like MS or
like
Parkinson's or stuff like that.
Is that not almost lightning and making fun of someone's disability though? They don't
use the actual disability. They show a normal person in an over-dramatized version of
You mean to say able-bodied person.
Sorry. That was really...
But no, you're fine. I know what you meant. You said it without malice. You're fine. I'm just a social justice warrior, James.
Thank you. But, so in doing that, they can appeal to a wider audience and obviously sell more.
I mean, that makes sense. I think that's very insidious, but then all marketing is. Like, there's a level of evil to most marketing, which I'm going to go into in my topic soon, by the way, like really evil marketing techniques.
Well, shall we get into it then?
Yeah, let's do it. Who's starting? Are you starting?
I'm starting this week.
Let's do it.
It is my turn. This is I am not getting paid for this.
This is not a paid endorsement, but it could be.
It could be, yeah. If you want to throw us some money, I'm sure you're raking it in at the moment.
I meant the company, the parent company.
No.
Oh, you did too.
No, I'm exactly.
I thought you meant like our Patreon or something. I'm like, no, I want the big company money. I want to advertise them.
Yeah, they can give us money. That'd be great. Yeah. Just before we start, we won't spoil it or anything, but we have approached this from two very different places this week.
Yes. I think you'll find that mine is much more consumer than you seem to be thinking it is. But you're right. There's quite like high thinking here and quite basic thinking.
Thank you.
And I think you'll be delightfully surprised as to who did the basic thinking.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Damon,
That's me.
Since the 19th, you're still here?
I'm still here. I live
Go
here.
home.
I live here.
Oh, it's over. Since the 1970s, Nintendo have been one of the most well-known and influential English...
Influenza.
The most well-known and influential video game developers, to the point that Nintendo is used as a synonym for every conceivable video game console by naive parents everywhere.
That's right, yeah.
They have created some of the most famous video game characters, from Mario and Luigi to Donkey Kong to Link from Legend of Zelda.
Never heard of them.
And let's not forget, at the time of recording, the 807 known Pokemon.
There's not 807.
There is now 807 known Pokemon.
You're joking.
Nope.
James, that's too many.
Stop.
It's too many. Stop.
Have you noticed that they don't use the slogan, gotta catch them all anymore?
Oh, thank God. It's
just
not possible.
not possible.
You can't do it. Go back and listen to our Pokemon episode, by the way. I think it's like number 6 or 7.
It was an early one, yeah.
Was it a teen one or was it
I don't remember.
I think it was pre-10, before 10.
Yeah, maybe. It was during those juvenile toddler years.
That's right. Yeah, back when we still played Pokemon.
No, that was...
yesterday.
We still do that, yeah.
I'm actually right back into leaf green at the
moment. Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Anyway, sorry.
Another time.
Let's stay on topic.
Growing up, I think we were all the envy of our friends, or we envied our own friends for owning a Super Nintendo or a Nintendo 64. Some of my greatest video game memories have been on a Nintendo system. They've not just developed many great home consoles, but also practically cornered the market in handheld gaming with Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, and now the Nintendo 3DS.
That's funny because there was so many. We were a PlayStation family.
Yep.
But we all had Game Boys.
Yeah, okay.
And there was that weird rivalry between. I remember being in high school and people were like, Nintendo's better, PlayStation's better, and everyone's like, you're both nerds. But everyone had a Game Boy. No one had whatever PlayStation released as their gaming handheld gaming console, and I'm sure there was a couple of them. No one owned one.
No.
Everyone might have had a PlayStation, but everyone had a Game Boy.
But do you remember, did you have any friends, even though you had a PlayStation, I'm sure you had friends that had a 64, and any time you got to go over there, it was exciting.
Yeah, it was. And as an adult and doing retro gaming now, and playing like Super Smash Bros. And things like that, I'm like, how did I not have this as a kid? Yeah. It was always family friends that had Mario Kart.
Yeah,
they were the ones.
It's always the strange, not quite aunt, and uncle that
Uncle Trevor that owns Mario Kart but has no kids.
Yeah, it's not related to anybody.
We don't see
in your
Uncle
family.
Trevor anymore.
Maybe not. No. So Nintendo, they did have a bit of a stumble with the Wii U system, but they found their footing again with their 7th major video game console, the Nintendo Switch, which launched worldwide on March 3rd, 2017. Mm-hmm. And as I pass this over to you, Damon, this is a bit of a show and tell.
I was wondering why you brought it. I've seen it there, and I'm like, do you just travel with it or something?
Just wanted to let you hold it. I'm going to convince you today, Damon.
Yes.
That at a recommended retail price of $469.95, the Nintendo Switch is worth the money.
Okay. How do I take the side bits off? Because that happens, doesn't it?
I'm sure you probably can't do it one-handed. You might have to put
challenge accepted.
So while you're doing that, the Switch is a hybrid console. It can be played on your television like a standard home console, but when removed from the dock, as you've got it in your hand now...
I did it one-handed too, you jerk.
The action transitions almost instantaneously to the 6.2-inch touchscreen display, turning it into a portable system, which allows you to continue to play your games on the go. The hardware of the console is contained impressively behind the display in a space that's just over 1 centimeter thick. Look at that. Everything. That is the console. That's the whole thing.
It's thin.
So...
You couldn't play it on a bus, though, could you? Look at the size
of this. Yeah, I reckon you'd be right. No bigger than a book. Yeah. People read books on buses for some reason.
Weirdos.
Games are controlled with the new Joy-Con controllers, which slide on and off, as you just showed. Yep.
Again, one-handed.
On the left and right sides of the console for play in handheld mode.
They are indeed.
So when docked, the Joy-Cons can be removed from the console and held in each hand, or attached to the Joy-Con grip to function more like a traditional video game controller.
Okay.
Furthermore, each individual Joy-Con can be used as an individual controller. Turning the Joy-Con horizontally offers a control style very similar to the original NES controller.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's one joystick, 4 buttons. I think that's the beauty behind Nintendo, isn't it? It's always been so simple.
Exactly right.
It's 4 buttons and a toggle or a joystick. Yeah.
So this means that if you've taken your Switch out with you in handheld mode configuration, with the 2 Joy-Cons slid on either side, you're still able to jump into some 2-player gaming if you meet up with a mate. You know, you could just start playing. You've got 2 controllers there attached to the thing.
Good point. Yeah.
To this end, the Switch also features a rear kickstand, which allows the console to be played in tabletop mode.
Does it? Hang on, how do I do that? Oh, is it these black bars here?
Just that one little...
Is it one?
Bit
It's only one. Okay.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves, people.
And the Joy-Cons...
That ain't it, James. Something fell off the back. It's okay, I fixed it.
The Joy-Cons are amazing in their own right. We all know the crazy levels of success Nintendo found when they introduced motion controls with the Wii console.
Oh, yeah.
But the Switch not only features these motion controls, but the Joy-Cons have incredibly realistic HD rumble.
Okay.
In their marketing campaigns, Nintendo asked customers to imagine the Joy-Con in their hand is a glass full of ice cubes. With HD rumble, you can tilt or shake the Joy-Con, and you'd be able to count the number of ice cubes, as if you're holding that glass in your hand.
That's a pretty specialty skill. I don't think I'd be able to do that with an actual glass of ice cubes. Ting, ting. There's
so you
5.
can sort of feel but you can feel the movement of these things.
Sure.
Ice cubes.
Yeah.
Inverted commas in the controller.
Interesting.
They also boast an II motion camera in the right Joy-Con, which can detect shapes, movement, and distance of objects.
Wow, so it's like a baby.
It can even identify hand shapes, determining if you're making the scissors sign in a game of rock, paper, scissors.
No way.
Yeah, so it can tell what you're doing with your hands, which is creepy when I say it that.
James, don't. Come on.
I mean, you made it dirty. I just made it creepy.
You made it dirty.
No, I made it creepy. You made it dirty. And if you're going in it for the long haul, you're going to sit down for a weekend-long video game binge.
Oh, yeah.
We all have time for that these days. You can also get the Switch Pro controller. This is a very comfortable controller, more similar to those you'd be familiar with for the PlayStation, Xbox consoles. Mm-hmm. I highly recommend one of these for when you're at home playing in front of a TV for several hours.
Sorry, have you got one?
Not with me, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool. Sorry.
Yeah, just imagine you're holding a PlayStation
I'm glad
controller.
I interrupted you for that.
Yeah. All of the Switch controllers can be charged by connecting them to the console. They don't require any type of disposable battery. Games come on cards roughly the size of an SD memory card, perfect for taking on the go. Alternatively, you can purchase and download games from the eShop. So there's even a large selection of games that are only on the eShop, including a vast array of unique indie titles. This exposure and opportunity can only mean great things for aspiring video game developers wanting to break into the industry. So they get an opportunity to just throw their game up online to be downloaded to the Nintendo Switch.
See, that's cool. I mean, that's very much in line with like the Play Store.
Yeah.
Like if you just design an app and you can get it on the Play Store and people can pay a nominal amount for it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be linked to anyone. You don't have to work for Microsoft or Android or anything. You can just, if you're good enough to make it, you can put it up and make some money. That's good. I like that. Yeah.
Yep. I should point out that the console only contains a 32 gigabyte hard drive, which is not a lot by today's standards.
No, but for the size of the thing, like I'm so old school, I equate size of console to memory storage. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, for the size of it...
It's as big as this room. It's got 500 megabytes.
It's got Snake, Minesweeper, really bad Solitaire.
But you can get like micro SD memory cards up to 2 terabyte capacity for expanding additional storage.
Wow.
Yeah. So and you could have as many of those as you wanted.
2 terabytes.
Yeah. So you expand the memory with micro SD cards. Easy.
That's big.
Personally, I haven't even found it to be an issue. I always prefer to buy physical copies when I can, so I always have a copy of the game.
Yep.
I do this with the major releases, which they would have large file sizes if you were to download. I think the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild takes up more than half that 30. I think it's like 18 gig or 20 gig or something.
Was that the one? Was that the one you said was completely overrated and you can't work out why people like it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. In a former episode.
Yeah. Listen to that one.
Yes.
So I buy the major releases, and then I've downloaded a number of titles from the eShop, many of which are just a few hundred megabytes. And I have this one game, it's like, I don't know if you would have ever played F-Zero, but it's a racing game that's like really fast-paced. It's sort of like pod racing speed type thing. It's really good quality graphics. It's an awesome, fun game, and it's only a couple hundred megabytes.
Cool.
So that was like, cheering. So
great.
Naturally, having games downloaded to the console means that you have them with you no matter where you go. So it's good to have them. You don't obviously have to carry the cards with you, but How you buy your games is really going to be a personal choice.
Sure.
I mean, I grew up swapping out Game Boy cartridges, so I'm not really phased carrying the cards with me. It's easy. As far as software titles go, there are some great ones. I did talk in a previous episode about how disappointed I was with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Look at that.
It's sort of a steampunk medieval themed action adventure game. It's set in a massive open world that you're free to explore in any way or order you please, a feature that has been uncommon throughout the majority of the franchise. And as a longtime fan of the series, it didn't quite live up to my expectations, but that doesn't mean it's a bad game by any stretch, and I did sink many hours into it upon its release alongside the console last year. And you probably should ignore my views on the title and try the game out for yourself, because it received numerous Game of the Year awards, being described as one of the greatest video games of all time.
Look at you backtracking. You make one controversial statement about a game everyone loves. But we can still agree.
I mean, like I said, it doesn't mean it's a bad game. It just didn't quite meet that expectation for me. Yeah.
I mean, we can still both agree that Pokemon Sun and Moon sucked.
Yeah.
So we can stand by that controversial statement.
Breath of the Wild has sold over 6.7 million copies for the Switch, at one stage outselling the console itself.
Wow.
That is, more people owned a copy of the game than the console to play it on.
How does that work?
It could be attributed to people buying the limited edition master version,
right,
and then buying a second standard copy to actually play. They didn't want to crack open the limited edition, remove the shrink wrap, and decrease its value, because they're going to resell it and make all that millions of dollars.
Yeah, no, you're right. They are.
Yeah.
Just like I'm going to sell all my Pokemon cards one day for $200 each and make a killing.
Yeah, do it, man. Do it.
Hang on, I was being facetious. Should I?
No.
No, exactly.
Because you got Pokemon cards.
I'd be conned. I'd be ripped off, is my thinking. Anyway, go on.
Another major title for the Switch has been Super Mario Odyssey. This is the latest in the Super Mario series of platform games. Features a gameplay style fans of the Super Mario 64 game would be very familiar with, so it sort of goes back to those sort of roots. The game has also won numerous awards and sold over 9 million copies, making it the highest selling game for the Switch. Other Nintendo exclusive titles include a fighting game called ARMS and Splatoon 2, the sequel to the wildly successful third-party shooter on the Wii U. You might be thinking, Nintendo making a shooter.
Oh, no, GoldenEye.
They didn't make that. That was rare. It was on Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
But it's sort of not really with their family-friendly sort of nature to make a shooter game.
I mean, I can't imagine... I would buy it if it was Mario in a Wolfenstein-style game where he's like, you can actually see Mario's gloved hand holding the weapon and he's shooting troopers or something. I would get into that.
So yeah, it is kind of cartoony actually. It's a lot like paintball on steroids, allowing players to transform into squid-like creatures to traverse through paint puddles, to climb up walls and sneak up on enemies. It's a really interesting game mechanic. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, right.
In addition to a single-player campaign mode, the game is highly enjoyed for its online multiplayer, featuring various game modes. So it's sort of like capture the flag, defend the...
Yeah, right.
It's a whole lot of fun.
Okay.
It really is.
Yeah, right.
Now, in the past, Nintendo has tended to have large gaps in their release schedule for their own in-house titles. However, because of the lack of success and support for the Wii U, they've been able to take a bunch of these titles, which perhaps didn't receive enough attention at the time, freshen them up a bit, and launch them again on the Switch, which has a much wider audience. So, yes, they're rehashing old titles, but it means they're fleshing out the catalog of games that they're offering, rather than being 3 months between titles. It's maybe a month or two between titles that they're doing. Yep. So that's just the in-house Nintendo titles. Some of these have included Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so they redid the latest Mario Kart. Pokken Tournament DX, which is the Tekken-style Pokemon fighting game.
No!
That's a thing. Yeah, so you can get Charizard and just
dibs on Marchamp.
Yeah, yes, so good.
It's a fighting game.
It's a fighting game like Tekken.
Pick the best fighting Pokemon. It's Marchamp.
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I don't know if you ever played the Donkey Kong games on the Super Nintendo.
Did I ever play Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
No, I never did.
Wow, thank you. Those games were fantastic on the Super Nintendo. They made some new games for the Wii and Wii U, and one of those is coming out on the Switch, and the Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is also on its way to the Nintendo Switch console. You may have also heard about the Nintendo Labo, which is coming out next month.
Yeah.
So
I have.
This is described now. You're cringing a little bit, but
I am.
It's described as a gaming and construction toy platform and comes in a series of cardboard kits designed as a way to teach engineering and physics. So these kits are assembled to make Toy-Cons, a play on Joy-Con. They work in conjunction with the console and Joy-Cons interacting with the software and vice versa. So 2 kits have been announced. One is a variety kit, which includes 5 Toy-Cons. There's a remote control car, which I've seen in operation. Basically, it doesn't have wheels. It has these weird little strut things on the bottom of it.
Yeah.
But what you do is you put the Joy-Cons on either side of it, and they vibrate. And the way they vibrate actually causes it to drive around.
That's crazy.
Yeah. There's a fishing rod, a house. I'm unsure what the house does.
I've seen the fishing rod.
Yeah.
A house? What are you?
I'm not sure. I'll be interested to see exactly the use of that. There's a toy piano, which is absolutely genius.
I've seen on the video. Yeah.
And motorbike handlebars. The second kit is the robot kit. I'm so excited for this. Basically, you make your own mech suit. Oh, it's like you've got like the gloves, you've got the backpack, and you're controlling a robot on the screen, like destroying cities. It looks fantastic.
That's crazy.
The software also features a garage mode. Now, this is probably the most exciting part of the whole thing. It allows players to create and program their own Toy-Cons. They're using simple programming commands. Okay. So coding is pretty much the language that everybody needs to learn at school.
Yes.
That's built into this, teaching kids programming and coding. And so you can use the existing cardboard kits, the Toy-Cons. You can use anything lying around the house. You can just use cardboard and scraps and have your own arts and crafts and make your own objects that work with the console.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy that. Yeah. All right.
In a recent announcement, Nintendo revealed that a Super Smash Bros. Title is coming to the console, which, for those who don't know, it's a series of fighting games featuring a massive roster.
That was English.
I think it's the place. We're in a new place.
Yeah, you're
and
thrown.
I'm stumbling. I'm completely lost and thrown.
Yeah, you're right, because when we record at your place, we never make mistakes.
No,
we never get words wrong.
Flawless. It's a series of fighting games featuring a massive roster of Nintendo characters, including Mario, Link, Pikachu, Samus, Bowser, and Donkey Kong, just going at it, just knocking each other the hell out.
Cool.
Additionally, Nintendo has confirmed they're working on a Pokemon title. So they've always been a bit funny about Pokemon, with developers saying it really belongs on a handheld. Yeah. So we've never seen a core series game on the home consoles. But the Switch is going to be the perfect platform for it.
It blurs the line between the two.
Exactly right. So you're going to be able to take it on the go. You're going to be able to meet up with friends and trade and battle out and about. I dare say, if this isn't announced with images or a trailer by the end of this year's E3, which is like June or July, it's going to be blood.
Yeah, really.
People are going to be mad. Like, they're
keen.
itching for this game.
Okay.
I've been mainly focusing on Nintendo titles, but there's been some strong third-party support, which has been an area that Nintendo has tended to struggle in previously. You can get hugely popular titles like Skyrim, LA Noire, Doom. You can even get like FIFA and NBA if that's your thing.
Yeah, it is.
They've even announced that South Park, the fractured but whole, is coming to the console. South Park.
Wow.
Okay,
that's a big get.
So, yeah, this could be a sign of things to come, and perhaps we might even get more mature titles like the next GTA. Games which usually only go to consoles like PlayStation, the Xbox systems.
Yeah.
Plus, you can play them on the go. You can get up and keep playing. You go, I've got to go to this thing. I've got to catch the bus to be wherever. Take it with you.
Playing. Yeah.
No, just keep playing. I can't remember the amount of times that I've been like so into a game that I leave the house and I'm out and I'm like thinking I just really want to go home and play that game.
Yeah.
I could have brought it with me.
Yeah. The best thing I did recently was I got a Game Boy Advance emulator on my phone. Nice. And now I can do just that.
Yeah.
Retro gaming.
I know we're at a dinner with your parents, Nat, but I don't care. I'm playing Pokemon.
I'm getting important emails. They're work related.
So yeah, I've often argued if you could buy a console to play some big games like GTA or Call of Duty, but also be able to play beloved titles like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Super Smash Bros., surely it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like, if Nintendo can get this right, keep bringing this third-party support on board, who wouldn't want a Nintendo? Who's not going to buy that?
It's a good point. Well, especially when you say like you're bringing in big brands like FIFA and NBA and things like that, you're cross-marketing really well there because you're bringing in the sports fans, which really PlayStation has grabbed.
Yeah.
I think it feels like PlayStation and Xbox are very much on par at the moment. I'd say the PS4 and the Xbox One, from what I understand. And in terms of their games, there isn't a huge amount of what do you call it when one just goes to exclusivity?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But if you're right, if Nintendo can catch up, get in on those big products, because they haven't had FIFA, have they? You can't play FIFA on the Wii or anything.
I don't think so.
No. So if you can catch up with the huge, big franchise games, as well as have your own unique spin on it, then they've not just cornered the market, they've dominated it.
And like these titles that Nintendo do are like some of the biggest, most influential franchises in the video game industry. We're talking Mario and Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Pokemon.
Yeah,
these
absolutely.
games are huge.
Yeah, but if you're bringing in a whole new type of clientele when you bring in FIFA, NBA, GTA 5.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're bringing in more adult, like you say, more adult content.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah.
As of December 2017, the Switch. So that's really a dated figure. We're 2.5 months into this year.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. As of December.
Wait, let me get a calendar.
The Switch has sold 14.86 million units.
Nice.
So that was in over a course of 9 months. It's been hugely popular. So like I said, $469.95. I'm strategically saying that so you think it's cheaper than $470.
What?
$470!
The first price was much better.
$469.95 is the recommended retail price of the console. I dare say if you walked into a store tomorrow, you could pay between about $450 and $500 and walk out with the console and one of the bigger titles for it. Okay? I'll throw it to you. What do you think? Do you think the Switch is worth the money? You're going to be able to play Pokemon. You're going to be able to play Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
You're going to maybe be able to play games like GTA or Call of Duty.
Look, you've sold it to me, but
But right now I can't because I'm going on a holiday.
I'm actually going on 2 pretty soon. I'm away on your birthday.
Yeah.
We're going to Uluru, Ayers Rock, and Alice Springs, and then at the end of the year we're going to Europe. So yeah, no.
I mean, I'm not asking you to buy this one here.
Oh, good. No, I'm just going to steal this one. You're just going to leave it here by accident. No, the one thing I'll say is part of the reason why we bought a PS4 is because it doubles as a Blu-ray player and internal storage and Netflix and streaming services and things like that. Can you get that on a Switch?
Netflix is coming. All those streaming services are coming.
Well, then I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Then I'm convinced. Yeah, then it's worth the money. Because as if it's going to truly work as a home console, it needs to work for all of your media needs.
Yeah, exactly right.
So
and
if
then
it can,
you can take Netflix with you.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, you can do that
already
on
your phone.
But you're right. It's all on one thing
Yeah.
that you just plug in. HDMI? Is it a USB?
It's through HDMI connection. It's all on the dock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Okay, I'm convinced.
Right.
It sounds good. I kind of want one now. Can't get one. Going to Europe.
I'm going to say I've really gone over time. I'm so sorry, but please take your time.
I didn't want to say anything because you were enjoying it. Like you when you get onto a topic you love, like you light up, and it was great. It's good.
This is a bumper episode, folks. Buckle in for the second
No,
half.
I promise mine will be short and bad, and people would have already turned off, so don't worry about it. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be arguing about diamonds.
Diamonds.
Diamonds are not worth the money, James.
Are they a girl's best friend?
Maybe, but they're a man's worst enemy.
Okay.
As I'm going to get into, actually. Yeah. So we've all seen Blood Diamond, the delightful buddy comedy starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
I mean, have we all? I mean, I have, but have we all seen Blood Diamond?
Everyone in this room has.
Okay.
You didn't even pick up on the fact that I called it a delightful comedy.
I did. No, I did.
Buddy comedy. It's a road trip movie.
It's just my thing is to ignore the jokes that you've clearly worked the hardest on.
You jerk! That one came pretty naturally, actually. But I was still proud of it. It stars Leo DiCaprio and Yamon Hunsu. I think I got that wrong. So, you laugh at that. You laugh at the mistakes. So naturally, all of us are experts in the diamond industry. All of them are mined in African war zones and fund awful child soldier-filled armies. One company owns all of the diamonds and drip-feed them into the world at an overinflated price. James, have I convinced you? No. But you watch that movie and all of a sudden everyone's an expert in how overpriced diamonds are.
And South African accents.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, China, can I bum a smock, China? That was awful. That wasn't South African at all. You've got to.
I wasn't even going to try.
To do a South African accent, you've actually got to say South African in a South African accent.
Okay.
That's what sets your standards. If you say South African, I actually sound like a former English cricketer who comes from South Africa right now. called Kevin Peterson. He's got a very soft, almost effeminate South African accent. If you were to hear him speaking right now, you would swear I am him. Like, this is actually a perfect impression.
It's getting worse.
Yeah. Oh, that David Warner, he's a great batsman. Look at him go. What a great batsman. Anyway, that did get worse. The two people listening to this, they're like, oh, that is a great Kevin Peterson impersonation. Anyway, where am I up to? So even though we're all experts, I'm not adverse to treading well-worn ground, especially because this is a really serious issue, not just for the downtrodden and the enslaved, but middle-class white men everywhere who are being duped into paying out the butt for a shiny rock better suited for industry usage. My entitlement is showing. For starters, do you know where the tradition of buying a diamond for engagement rings comes from, James?
Do you want me to start us because I do know, or do you want me to be like, oh, no,
well,
tell
if,
me?
If you do know, tell it.
From an advertising campaign.
Well done. Yeah, it's absolutely true. So the answer that I've got here is it comes from the same place as Valentine's Day, a marketing department's ass. De Beers, a massive diamond mining company now based out of London, once had a complete monopoly on the global diamond trade.
Jerks.
In 1938, they led an incredibly successful campaign in America that married the idea of a diamond and an engagement ring. During these years, between the wars, well, I mean, really, we're always in between wars, but, you know, between the First and the Second World War.
Yeah. The wars, Damon.
The big ones, the big two. You know, Europe, between those wars in Europe, the idea of an expensive diamond ring was not even worth considering. And in America, the Wall Street crash and Great Depression very much made the concept as unappealing as another shared movie universe. However, despite these obstacles, Gerald Locke, L-A-U-C-K, Locke? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I get all the names, from the
That's
New
not
York...
my name. That's not my name.
They call me Francine, and they call me Joseph, they call me Michael. Always the same. I love that song. I just don't remember it very well.
No.
From the New York-based ad agency NWA, launched an ad campaign aimed not at the expecting bride, but at the would-be groom. Much like how advertisers put Pierce Brosnan in an open white shirt on a horse on TV during a soap opera to sell men's anti-grey shampoo or skin cream or whatever other crap we really don't need because a real man is rugged and hairy and greying, the advertiser doesn't appeal to the receiver of the gift but the buyer. Young men were insidiously convinced that diamonds were such a luxury item that only truly successful men who are living the American dream with a good job and a nice home can afford one. So what self-respecting, hard-working American man wouldn't at least save up for one? That's where the 1/3 of a month's salary came in.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Already the premise of buying a diamond is built on spin. But what does that have to do with the value? Surely a luxury gift of rare stone is worth the money. Well, maybe back in 1869 when diamonds were only for super rich kings, queens, maharajas, emperors, sultans and Kardashians. If you did live in London in 1869, you would have to wait a further year until a huge deposit was located in Kimberley in South Africa before the price would drop.
Okay.
So you were right when you mentioned South Africa before too. Like South Africa, Canada, Australia are and the USSR, former USSR, now Russia, the major production bases for diamonds. The supply was so large and the price suddenly so low that the market could well have lost its bottom. Well, that is to say that its bottom could have fallen out. That still doesn't make any sense, but it's a legitimate term. Cecil Rhodes was the man we have to blame for the price hike after he began buying up diamond mines and limiting their output. One of the companies he bought at the time was De Beers. Yes. The company would go on to use truly dastardly tactics to keep the price of diamonds down.
Sorry, whenever you say dastardly, I just think of a guy with a mow and a top hat tying damsels to train tracks.
Dick Dastardly. Yeah. Where was I up to? Dick Dastardly tactics. They tried to keep the price. I said keep the price of diamonds down. I meant to keep the price of diamonds up and the supply down.
Okay.
Because if you make them rarer, they're worth more.
Yeah.
Rarer, exactly. He was out-competing rivals. He was buying up mines across the world and really just being a jerk. One example comes straight out of our backyard. Not literally, but like Australia. Okay. So might as well be our backyard. I mean, it happened.
It's the people's backyard.
It's the people. Well, the Communist Republic of Australia, is it? It's the people's outback. That's right. Kind of like that. Anyway, so it was in Australia. There was once an open cut diamond mine which started pulling huge amounts of slightly coloured diamonds out of the ground. It's not uncommon for diamonds to have a slight coloration, yellow or pink or a little bit reddy tinged. And when De Beers couldn't buy up this mine, they immediately started flooding the global market with similarly sized, similarly coloured diamonds. Almost overnight, the diamonds mined in Australia became worthless. Yeah, making the mine just about worthless in itself.
Oh, wow.
Haven't been able to find a reference for that point, but I'd believe it, frankly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now, despite a $10 million lawsuit in 2010 for antitrust and a release of their monopoly across the globe, the cost of diamonds is not expected to drop. That's De Beers, that was sued for $10 million.
Yeah, okay,
Yep. They reckon it's not going to drop because in 2017, the price for diamonds actually peaked as diamond mines around the world are getting deeper and deeper, making it harder to excavate new diamonds. And a new diamond source hasn't been found in over decades.
Okay, yes. Yeah.
So they are genuinely, rather ironically, now actually becoming hard to find and expensive.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So bit of a catch-22 there, I guess. But in the meantime, we still have huge reserves of diamonds stored away and the price is still very much inflated. But surely they're a good investment. Nope. Most stores, due to the high markup of the product, have a firm policy of not buying second-hand diamonds.
Okay.
Yeah, this is primarily down to the initial markup, which leaves the stone depreciating by almost 50% upon sale.
Wow.
Most stores consider it insulting to actually offer the correct market price for a second-hand stone. They worry they're going to lose customers in future.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that much of a depreciation. I know. Diamonds are also notoriously hard to value for amateurs. For one thing, few are flawless. The 4 C's are used to grade diamonds. Have you heard of the 4 C's?
Yes, but I probably couldn't give them all to you. No.
That's okay. Have a guess. What's the...
Cut. Clarity.
Yes. Yep.
Carat.
Yep. There's a 4th one.
Yeah. No.
Colour.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know Nat's brother got engaged. His engagement party's actually this weekend.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good guy. Talking to his fiancée, who's a good girl.
Otherwise, I would have to take my congratulations back.
Exactly right. Yeah. Her ring, she was showing as a diamond, and actually had like the brochure with her, just in her handbag. They obviously.
Also, now she's a salesperson. It's like Avon up in
She did
Tupperware.
a great job. Yeah, she actually knocked on our door and insisted she tell us about the diamond they got. But we're looking through the brochure, and it's really interesting how they grade diamonds based on those 4 things. So the idea is they become cheaper or more expensive depending on how. The quality of all 4 of those.
Yeah, okay.
So you might be able to find a cheap diamond with crap colour, but it's got a great cut. You might find one that's got an awful cut, but it's got great clarity and high amount of carats. So this grading system is confusing to navigate for amateurs, making it really hard to sell just, second-hand channels.
Okay, yeah.
It also means that it's down to the scruples and personal taste of each individual buyer. A diamond that I see as nearly flawless, you might say has got a terrible colour or a poor cut.
Yeah, okay.
So they're really, really hard to resale. In closing, I would say that diamonds, thanks to the nature of the trade, the false creation of need, the difficulty in valuing, and the extreme markups on the products, are as good an investment as LCD TVs, used cars, and DVD players from 2010. James, have I convinced you that diamonds are a waste of money?
Well, really, the only reason I would have to buy a diamond is an engagement ring.
Exactly.
And you forget that I'm the poster boy for hopeless romanticism.
You are absolutely right. I completely forgot that. You're gonna buy some lucky girl the biggest rock one day that you can possibly fit on her finger without it breaking.
Yeah, but I'm going to think, is this worth the money the whole time?
No,
I'm
it's
not convinced.
It's so not. And remember, bigger doesn't also mean better.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Also, why I don't have somebody to give a diamond ring to.
I genuinely didn't even consider that. I didn't mean that. I meant for diamonds.
Yeah.
You disgusting pervert.
Shall we wrap this
Oh, I
up?
think we should, actually. Yeah, it's getting towards that point.
Are you convinced by our arguments? Is the Nintendo Switch worth the money? Is it something you'd be interested in buying? Are diamonds completely not worth the money?
Will you never be buying jewelry again after this?
No.
Something tells me.
What's the best purchase you've ever made, or what's a purchase you regret? Please let us know in the comments or on our social media accounts.
I'd love to hear the regrets, actually, more than the. We'd love to laugh at each other's pain, and buyer's remorse is a really painful experience.
Hashtag buyer's remorse.
Hashtag buyer's remorse.
That's probably already somebody's hashtag, but we'll steal it.
In the spirit of tonight's episode, if you could misspell it, by the way, that'd be really good.
We'll never find it, but do it.
Twitter and Instagram at Are You Convinced. You can search for us on Facebook, Are You Convinced, or the link is www.facebook.com/areyouconvinced.podcast. Please consider donating to our Patreon. You did the little hip wobble thing again. Did you do it on purpose?
Yes.
Now it's disingenuous. Yeah, consider donating to our Patreon. Please do. Keep the
That
lights
is
on.
worth the money.
Some might disagree. www.patreon.com/areyouconvinced.
If you are enjoying the podcast, please leave us a review on iTunes. That will help us a whole lot to get in front of other people and other people to discover us.
It's just, it's really easy for people to discover podcasts that are rated, viewed, and reviewed.
Positively.
Really?
Yeah,
I was going to say, even if you just write, terrible sound editing, poor quality, badly researched, 5 stars.
But if you gave it like 1 star,
okay.
it's probably not going to get recommended to more people to listen.
Oh, well then 5 stars. No matter what you think of us, 5 stars, let everyone else make up their own minds.
Yeah. Good call.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, please convince your friends to listen.
Yep, convince your family, convince your pets. Shout out to Mishka, the pet listener. Haven't shouted out to her in a while, so
I'm sure Mishka was a good purchase.
I would have thought so.
If
Pets
the
don't
owner paid money.
Pets don't depreciate unless they're pure breeds or they come from puppy mills.
Not worth the money.
No, because they end up costing you more in vet bills because of the
Today, Junior.
I need to reboot myself because of the degenerative birth defects that they often inherit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sad industry.
Damon.
Yes.
We're going to steer away from that.
Yes, let's end.
We're
going
to talk about our next week's topic. We're doing another begrudging episode.
I know. Well, this one's a little bit different to the last one in that it's going to be. Oh no, it's exactly
really difficult. No, the other one was
not.
Convincing each other that something bad was good.
This time we're going to choose something that we love.
That is good.
Yeah, and we're going to try and talk about how terrible it is.
So the topic is beloved movies that are actually the worst.
This is going to be really painful.
So we have the hat of poor decisions.
That's right.
Yep.
I call it my poor decision hat.
So we're going to put it up on the table there. We're going to start throwing some movies in here. So we got like Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Good movie. The Bourne Identity, also a good movie.
I've got Die Hard, Matrix.
The Matrix.
Oh.
Oh no! I hope I don't draw.
Jurassic Park's in there. Got Fight Club, Alien,
Hey,
Inception.
you broke the first and second rule. You talked about Fight Club.
You're still talking about it. You're making it worse.
Oh no! No shirt, no shoes. Yeah.
Got Lord of the Rings, Empire Strikes Back. I'm going to read them all. Shawshank Redemption, The Lion King, Back to the Future. That one's going to hurt. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Jaws. All fairly beloved movies. Who went first last time?
You did, so I'll go first this time.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah. We should mention that in here, in this hat right now, are our legit favourite movies.
We each have one of these movies for each of us is a favourite.
Yeah, and then the rest are probably in like our top 10, I would have thought.
I'd say so.
Yep, okay.
All right, tried to shuffle that all really
James, I don't like this.
Not ready.
Oh, don't be Jurassic Park. Don't be Jurassic Park. Oh, no. It's not Jurassic Park, but it's going to be Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow. Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
you know, I was actually thinking, though, the worst thing that you could have drawn that was worse than Jurassic Park was Back to the Future.
Right. Oh, yeah, because that's your favourite
Yeah.
movie. I hadn't considered that if we drew the other one's favourite movie.
Yeah. I mean, I still have a chance here.
True.
This could be really bad. Don't
draw
be Jurassic Park.
Leave Jurassic Park in the hat. I don't want to hear it.
You just be like, no. Like,
No,
start of the before I even open my mouth, no.
No, I'm not convinced. You got it? I've got a bad feeling about this.
It's not Jurassic Park,
Is it
but
Back
it
to-
is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, really?
That's going to be a tough one. All right. So
I love
next week, we're convincing each other that the Lord of the Rings trilogy and Ferris Bueller's Day Off are actually terrible. They are the worst. They are awful movies.
You might be listening to that now going, I don't like either of those two. You should understand, we do like both of those. So,
And a lot of people do, I think.
Yeah, I got to say I'm relieved. There were some other ones in there that I don't think I could have argued against.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You
No,
know?
that could have gone a lot worse. But
Yeah.
I still think it's going to be a train wreck.
Yeah,
Next episode,
absolutely. Yeah.
please tune in. But for now, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys. Take care.